Ever wondered what really goes on in the life of a health and fitness coach? Let's take a deep dive into the completely uncut version of what motivates our team to do what they do. Welcome to Behind the Drive. And we are live. This is the first, this is strange. This is intense. Can you see yours?
Can I see mine? What do you mean?
Can you see the camera? You're over there.
Yeah, I can see it, but I can't see myself.
Yeah, well, no. Thanks. Thanks for that information. I guess I didn't know that.
I just hope I look good.
This is the first Get Going podcast live on video. Not live, but recorded on video.
Yeah.
And if we fuck up, it means we have to keep going.
Yep.
So
we're on air.
Welcome. Welcome, Mrs. Kiara Hall.
Hello.
You can't see me.
It's lovely to be here.
She has... Actually, I'll get you to introduce yourself. So start off with, like, how long have you been here? Just give a background of, like, what you did to begin with us.
Okay. So I started here, would have been about... It's coming
up to 2 years.
Yeah, coming
March.
to 2 years.
March.
In March. Oh, my gosh. Mm-hmm. Gee, it's been a while. That's so weird.
It is pretty crazy.
But yeah, I kind of, after year 12, once I graduated, I went to take a gap year and then I wasn't sure what I was doing. So I just went to the gym a lot and then I kind of got into that, wasn't know what I was doing. So I thought, you know what, let's take a PT course because I actually saw some advertising just at the gym. And I was like, you know what, don't know what I want to do, but I like going to the gym. I like working with people. So let's just do this, whatever, see how it goes. And then, yeah, as soon as I finished that was about just over a year because of COVID. It was kind of extended it.
So 2019, 2020. Graduated 2018?
Yeah. All the years kind of mush into one. So let's just go with that.
We'll say 2018.
But yeah, then straight after that, I just got straight into an interview just from a friend of a friend that I knew who got my foot in the door.
Who did you interview with?
Sarah. I don't think she's here anymore. Blonde girl.
Initially, and then who did your first round interview? Or second round interview?
This guy.
Do you remember how you spelt my name in the interview?
Wrong. Did I? Double E? Don't say it was double E. Oh.
Seetan. I will never forget it. I'll never forget it.
Apologies.
I'm hurt.
Wait, why did I spell it? Did I write it down?
In the response email. That's what it was.
Sorry about
It's fine. It's fine. Attention to detail. Like, it's not
you didn't remember anything. It doesn't matter. Yeah.
But like, how did you find the whole interview process? Obviously, there's a couple of layers, and it was your first job in the industry.
Well, yeah, starting out, had no idea what I was getting into. After completing my course, I didn't feel like I was actually ready to start working. I was kind of like, okay, course done, completed everything, like passed everything, but I feel like it just kind of went in and out, like through my head. Like I didn't feel like I had that knowledge to actually be a personal trainer. And so starting off was kind of scary as hell because it was like, I'm about to train people who think they're signing up with a professional trainer and I'm just kind of learning as I go. But I guess that's kind of the best way to learn, just being chucked in the deep end because, you know, you work with so many different clients and you literally just learn as you go. You know, if you get something that you're not sure about, you research before that session, you ask other trainers. You know, we have a great community here where you can just talk to other trainers. Hey, have you dealt with this? Cool, tell me about it. And it's, yeah, you literally just continuously learn as you go. So it's just gotten easier and more enjoyable because I feel like I know what I'm doing now.
And to give context, you're doing how many sessions a week now?
Around probably just with this, just under 30.
Yeah.
On average. And then I have group classes for seniors that I do another 3 sessions a week. Then I've got some support work, which I do. So all up, working many hours a week.
50 plus hours a week.
50, yeah.
But it didn't start like that for you here. Like it was a little bit slower.
It was a slow start and I was kind of nervous about that because I had no idea how Get Going works. And so I'd started off probably 1 or 2 sessions a week. And I was just so eager to just get more and more clients. I was like, give me anything and everything you got. Like, I don't care if they're in like an hour drive away, just give me the clients and let me just like kind of get into it.
I remember that face because I was telling you, like, I appreciate that you want to take on as much as you want.
Yeah, you're like, just chill. It'll take its time.
Couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And it built up slowly, and it's always hard when you first start a job to take it slowly. But from my perspective, I think it was good for you because obviously you're brand new to the industry, so you want to do so much for each of these individual clients that if you took on 10 at once, it's like, not that you would jeopardize the
but you wouldn't
quality.
be able to focus on one at a time. Yeah I think there were a few times where I'd have a certain amount of clients and then one week it would just double out of nowhere, and it's like, oh my god, I get stressed. I'm like in over my head. I'm like, what is going on? But then give me a week, I sort out everything, I plan everything, I make everything organized, and I'm like, okay, we're good. Give me another 20.
Kind of like training. Like you imagine if you just went super high volume straight in your first week,
and then
you break. You just break, and it's the same thing with like any job, and it's not a typical 9 to 5, so you can't just kind of coast in. There's no well, obviously we have training, but there's no like coasting period. If you're ready to go, you're ready to go, unless you communicate and say like, hey, can I just slow down a little bit?
Right. Here? And also the fact that 9 to 5, you get there, you work, you go home, you rest, and there's not many surprises. Whereas a client, you need to prepare for. You need to know what you're going in for, and the more prepared you are for the training session, the smoother it'll run. There's a lot of outside, behind the scenes kind of work.
Yeah, so you like to go in prepared.
100%.
What type of preparation is that for you? Is that like I remember a couple of things about the client from the week before, or what is it there? Yeah,
that's also one thing. Making sure you have the conversation topics, keeping up to date with their life, their social, personal life, having something to kind of bring back to chat with them, just to create that personal relationship as well, and letting them know that they're not just another client, they're your client, they're your friend, you know about their life, they know about yours. But also planning in terms of, now that we have the app, having their workout exactly set out how we're going to do it. If things change, they change, but you have that guideline to run along.
And I guess to throw back again, almost 2 years now, but what was your initial thought of the company? Because again, you didn't have the experience of being in, say, a Fitness First or Anytime Fitness or Genesis or anything like that. You've trained in a gym, but you didn't know like what it was going to be like. Obviously, you said you were a little bit stressed that you weren't getting as much, but what was the initial thoughts of the company or the community or the field? Yeah,
so when I heard of Get Going, I was kind of skeptical because I thought, mobile personal training, how does that work? You can only bring a certain amount of equipment, like small weights and stuff.
How can I get jacked?
Right? Like, how are the clients going to get progress and get jacked and see the results they want to see if I'm just bringing a couple of dumbbells? And so that was my first kind of thought. But then I kind of learned a bit more about Get Going, and I realized that it's such a close family kind of community vibe, and it's just a lot more for the trainers. It's made for the trainers as well as the clients, not just chuck out trainers, here you go. But it's, if you go to a gym to work there, you're kind of just working for the gym and competing with other trainers for clients, and you're kind of just treated like an employee. Whereas Get Going, you're more of it's cute. It's like a family. We're all working together. We're helping each other. We're bouncing ideas off each other. Whereas in a gym, it's kind of fend for yourself, You
don't feel that hostility. Obviously, you haven't worked in those spaces, but just being on the floor in some gyms.
Just seeing how it kind of works. You go to some gyms and you see the trainers really interacting with a lot of people, but no, I guess it's just nice with Get Going how all the trainers work together. The sales team work directly with the trainers. That whole idea of the sales team getting clients for trainers is also a massive thing. That's how I have 99% of my clients. So that's also a massive bonus. But, yeah. And
do you feel, because you've seen a couple of different transitions of how it's all worked, we were in the team, you first started off in a team Poseidon. How has it felt in the change maybe in the last 6 months? Does it feel different, or can you not notice it because you're so fucking busy?
Well, I was a bit worried when we got rid of the teams, because Poseidon was quite close. We'd have a lot of social events, but a few of the members from Poseidon actually left anyways, so that kind of changed just as it does. But It hasn't been a massive change. I think we still do our group Zoom calls and our social events with everyone, which I love. But I guess not having the teams kind of just means that, you know, we're all just one. And I feel a bit more easily like able to chat to the other previous teams when they were in teams.
It was kind of like their opposition before.
Yeah, they were literally opposition. So if like I approached them at a social event, it's like, hi, I'm Kiara, I'm from Poseidon.
It's like it's tattooed all across your body.
Yeah,
just
literally.
like the sea, the Poseidon all over you. So you can't even...
Got the Triton actually as a tramp stamp.
Oh, nice. That's great. That's great. You can't even speak to anyone else. I think that was the biggest change for us. We're like, there's no connectivity between everyone. You have each individual group and they're getting a good response there.
Yeah.
But we were like, we need to fix that shit.
Yeah, no, it's really nice. And I've branched out a lot more talking to all of the team now, especially the sales team. I used to find them a bit scary, but especially Abby. Sorry, Abby. She's terrifying. She was.
Abby is terrifying. I mean, Abby, tone it down.
Yeah.
Abby, tone it down.
It was good. Like I chatted with her at the Christmas party because I've never felt like I could because we were all like separated and stuff. Like she wasn't my team leader, so she's out of bounds. But no, now I'm, you know, we're all easy breezy with everyone.
It's easy breezy. That's a good way to describe it. So what does like a typical week look like? You said you've got a certain amount of sessions. What time does it start? What time does it finish? When do you train? When do you eat? Do you eat in the car?
Oh, no, I don't eat.
You don't?
Yeah.
That's nice.
So usually I start my week Monday to either Thursday or Friday. I'll usually start at around 6. So I'll wake up 5:30, roughly 5:30. And then I'll usually have a bunch of sessions back to back in the morning block with people working. It's quite common for you to work mornings, blank in the middle of the day, and then back to
You have a few sessions throughout the middle of the day though, don't you?
I do. That's because I work with quite a few NDIS clients. So a lot of clients through the NDIS, since they have a disability, they may not work, and so they don't have specific times they need to get sessions done, and so they're kind of happy to do whenever. Like they'll say, oh, chuck me middle day, morning, night, don't care. But yeah, so I'll do usually a morning block, maybe a few in the middle of the day, have an hour or two for lunch, go home and have some Crosskets. Those are my go-to at the moment.
Are you 6 years old?
They're really good. So avo, salmon, cucumber, thinly sliced.
About 12. It's about
and Kewpie mayo.
Kewpie mayo's the goat.
Yeah,
it's easily the best. Do you go, you know they have 50% fat reduced Kewpie mayo? Not that the calories are that high, but...
I thought that was pretty high in calories, Kewpie mayo.
It's like per serving, like the serving size is pretty small, which is like 4 servings.
Not for me, but...
Crosket. Yeah. I
cover it.
You know the big one as well has like a star opening? Like you can get a litre.
Yeah. You can get a litre.
Do you have the litre one?
No, mine's just a little...
No, litre one is a game changer.
Packaging's kind of weird
Game changer. Yeah. It's a little bit funky.
Yeah.
A little bit funky.
There's no label on the actual.
And it's really soft, like the plastic feels like it could break. But yes, you can get reduced fat. Okay. And like it just helps, means I can have twice the amount of servings.
Right, and it probably tastes the same.
Tastes exactly the same.
I'll be on that. I'll get on that, yeah.
Yeah, but your meal straight up went from a 6-year-old just plain crust. If you're having plain crust,
no, not as plain. That's like having plain wheat bits. Just some water, just to wash it down.
Maybe an OJ.
Cut my throat. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good fun. It's good fun. But lunch or breakfast. That's breakfast for you. And then what does it look like? Middle of the day. Is that when you train?
Yeah. So I usually train whenever I have a cancellation. But yeah, middle of the day, if I don't have any cancellations, that's when I'll be able to train. I split it up, so lower on Monday, upper on Tuesday. Wednesday I'll rest, and then I'll repeat that Thursday, Friday, and I'll try and get a full body in on the weekend. But yeah, so I'll kind of fit in my workout just around my day. I will get it done though, because that's important to me.
Do you find it tricky? Or does it work?
It works. I thought I'd find it tricky as I get busier, but if you want to do it enough, you get it done. You know, just prioritize. And a lot of my clients are quite flexible. And so if I say, hey, I want to go to the gym, do you mind if we start 30 minutes later? They'll be like, you go, girl. Do your stuff.
They say you go, girl?
Yeah, literally. But yeah, and then I'll finish my day off with a few more sessions, maybe from 2, 3 or 4 onwards, depending on who I have for the day. And I'll finish sometimes around 8. that'll be my latest finish will probably be 8:30. But yeah, it's not consistent day to day, but it's usually consistent week to week.
Where does social life fit in?
Weekends?
You're like, what is that?
What? Social?
Money? Social?
Money, social. Yeah, usually on the weekends. I have found that since starting as like a trainer, I don't hang out with friends as much. But when I do, it's more quality time because it's not just...
It's not because you have free time that you hang out with them. It's like, as in, if you're doing like a part-time woolies or whatever, not to say that they're bad jobs, but you have a lot of free time sometimes.
Yeah, but I don't actually always enjoy free time. I always need to be doing something. I as soon as I have time to spare where I'm like, oh, let's do a hobby, I feel like I'm wasting time. So I haven't picked up my book in a while. Not because I don't like the book, but it's just like, as soon as I pick up the book, I feel like I should be working. Like, maybe I should look for more clients, tell the sales team, get me another client. Like, I have like 30 minutes to spare and I'm just like, let's do some programming. Like, yeah, but yeah, I need to kind of wind down. Social life, I do leave for the weekend. I work on Saturdays usually around 9 till, say, 4. So I do have all of that night, party, do what I want. Sunday's my day off.
Good.
If there is a client who couldn't reschedule from Monday to Saturday, though, I will do a little, okay, I do have time Sunday. That's if I have no plans.
I respect it. I think I've told you before not to do it.
No, it's a very rare occasion. So Sundays I usually do programming. So I'll do something every day.
I think it's such a privilege to be able to manage your own books like all the trainers we have here can do. But there is a balance between trying to find when you're allowed to prioritize yourself.
Yeah. And I do my own stuff. I feel like gym is my time. But yeah, I do need to kind of separate that a little bit more. I just feel like I think it's kind of a stress thing. I feel like I'm going to fall behind or I'm going to miss something. Maybe I should have checked in on a client. But no, I just need to kind of separate my own life.
And it's interesting you say that, like, obviously the social side, when you're busier, it means you prioritize maybe the 5 closest people to you rather than being the person that, and it's like, you do whatever you want, right? I'm not here to give fucking life advice. But like, sometimes we have a network of like 50, 60 people and we feel like we're obliged to speak to them regularly.
Yep.
And that's fine if you want to do it. But when I'm busy now, I see in the last couple of years, the closest 5, 6 friends so much more than I did. And you're right, quality time just goes up with them rather than just seeing everyone because you feel like you have to. Yeah, literally. It's, hanging out with people for a purpose, not just to see their face, And when you catch up, it's kind of like, fill me in, not, oh, I saw you last week, what's new? Nothing's new. It's like when you have your clients, you see them 3 times a week and you're like, so what have you been up to the last 48 hours?
Right, literally. The first session's like, oh, how was your weekend? Second is like, what's on for the weekend? And then the third one, you're like, damn it, I've already used what's on for the weekend.
That's my question's gone.
I can't use that again. It's just like, now what? What have you been watching on Netflix? That's my go-to.
Well, to be fair, that's a good one. That's a good question to prompt any conversation. Food? Have you been anywhere and had some nice dinners recently?
But then they'll assume that you're asking them because you're like on their back. And so they'll be like, oh, I haven't been eating too well. I'm like, no, I'm not asking that. Just tell me like what you ate. Like, I just want to know.
Go get nice food. Did you get Japanese? Did you get Korean? Like, what'd you get? Yeah, it's interesting to like, what other questions do you have that like you prompt all the time with? Because I have a few.
Mine will usually be... Yeah, what if they're watching any shows at the moment? I don't know.
Family?
I don't know. I feel like most clients' conversation just flows, and so it'll be completely random topics. It's mainly when we're in the like lockdown phase over Zoom that you needed a lot more prompts because there's so many silences. It's just like... You're just watching them and there's only so many things like, yep, one more, good, yep, fix this. And then it's just like silence because you can't play music over the Zoom either. And that's kind of like what fills the void in sessions.
That was a funny period That was like very
Funny.
Yeah,
Terrible.
but like ha funny, ha funny. Like
Yeah.
it was an interesting. You would have only been training people for maybe a month or two,
Yeah.
maybe 2 months before you had to transition all these brand new clients as a brand new job in industry straight to Zoom.
Yeah.
And
It
then
was rough.
you did that for 6 months
6 months.
at least. 6 months
Over
purely Zoom.
Oh my gosh, I didn't realize how long it
I would
was.
say it was at least maybe 4 to 6, and then we had the opportunity to be like actually go out and see
Yeah.
people one on one.
Yeah, outdoors, mask. Ugh,
Yeah, gross.
gross.
But we're not going to get political here.
Yeah, no.
So interview-wise, you said it all went well. Like, what was the onboarding process like? Like, we did it differently to what we do now, which you probably don't even know about. But what was it like coming in and, I was surprised.
Did differently.
We do a group training day instead.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's kind of cool.
it is kind of cool. I'll fill you in after.
Okay.
Like, how did you go meeting new people here? Like, what was, obviously the team base helps, but like, how do you introduce yourself to brand new people that you don't really know online?
Well, I just remember we had was it 4 or 6 sessions together, something like that, to do like the training phase to sign up. And that was at the old Clayton. Yeah, it was at Clayton. And so I walked in there, I was like, oh, there's a few people, they were all friendly, like gave a wave and stuff. I assume that was all sales team and stuff.
It would have been at the time, yeah.
But yeah, that was kind of like the first little introduction to people. But as soon as I was added to the group chat, everyone was so friendly. Everyone was like, welcome, Kiara. Hey, welcome. I was like, oh, everyone's so cool. And then there was the first team meeting that I went to at the Clayton, what do you call it, office?
Yeah, so the meetings helped facilitate that.
Yeah, 100%. Because whilst, you can chat to... This keeps buzzing. Whilst you can chat to people on like the workplace and stuff, it's just not as flowy and
It's
like
not
natural
real. Like,
conversation.
you walked in here and you're like, oh, Charles, I didn't expect you to be that tall.
Yeah.
Like, it's fine to see people's faces on a computer screen, but you need some sort of interaction.
Yeah, face-to-face kind of interaction. But yeah, the first team meeting, I love that we did like an icebreaker, as you guys would call it. So just a random activity. There were little questions or something that we had to, like controversial topics that we had to bring up and like partner up, just walking around and then be like, all right, that person, chat about this, argue or something like that. And that was really good because I got to know so many people from that. And I was like, oh, I felt so like new and like I was the newbie, but I didn't realize so many of the other people there were new as well. And so they were probably in the exact same position, feeling like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing. Like, who do I talk to? But no, you just kind of just throw yourself into the deep end.
And do you think because those like icebreaker activities are awkward as they are, it doesn't really matter if you're new or old, they're both awkward then, so it kind of is like an even playing field?
100%, yeah, because everyone was kind of like, oh, like I'm not going to enjoy this, is just awkward, I don't want to talk to random people, but then once you do it, it's like, oh, everyone's awkward, so everyone just cancels out, so no one's awkward.
Everyone is awkward.
Yeah,
all the
literally.
time. All the time. Things that you've, I guess, changed your mind on in the last 6 to 12 months. Maybe ideas that you came in not being a personal trainer, doing a course, and then going, hey, now I think that was bullshit. Or things that might have just developed.
Things that might have developed. My training style, I guess. I kind of went through trial and error of how I want to plan things for my sessions. When I first started, I would type up the workout on like a Word document, make it look all pretty. In the initial assessment, I actually made my own extra sheet to add to the initial assessment.
I remember this.
So there was like the 2 sheets for the initial assessment, just questions, basic stuff. And then I made my own one. And one of the questions was, what's your favourite colour? It'd be like a funny moment, trust me. It'd be like, all right, now we'll get into the serious stuff. What's your favourite colour? And they'd always laugh. It was awesome. But yeah, then I'd make their sheet for the workouts, like themed in that colour. And then I'd print that out every single session, like the workout, whatever it was, I'd print out the workout. And then I got to a point where I didn't just have 2 sessions a week, and I was like, this is a lot of paper.
How much ink did you go through?
A lot, because I was using the colour as well. And then my dad was like, why is there no paper, and why are we going through the ink cartridges? And I was like, oh, maybe I need a new system. So then I started using Google Docs. You gave me one of your templates, and so I was I botched it a little bit. I made it into my own, but that worked so well, keeping track of sessions and stuff. All the different workouts. And then once again, I got into that and I felt like really confident using that. I had all their progress in one sheet down the bottom, their weight tracking, their workouts, their goals. It was all set up super neat. And then you guys were like, we have an app.
Get rid of it all.
And I was like, you're kidding me. I was
You've killed us.
I think one of my first questions was, do we have to use the app? But no, now that we actually are using the app, it is so much better. Everything's just in one place. And it's just, so neat. The client has it on their phone. We can, it's just, technology is awesome.
It's a little bit trickier for the user, as in so the person behind the screen, building out the workouts maybe, or building out the habits or whatever it is. But the client experience is just it's tenfold to what it was before. Even
just one big hit on it is the weight diagram thing.
Yes.
Clients just love opening up the app. And if you say to them, oh, you're down 2 kilos since we started a couple of weeks ago or something, and they'll be like, oh, that's actually really cool. But if they see it on a diagram, going down like that, they're like, oh, that looks awesome. That's me,
The visual representation is unmatched. You need to be able to see, it's as you said, it's fine hearing the words, but being able to see it in a presentation. Or
and with their progress photos, because they can upload those as they go. And I think that was a good prompt for a lot of people to actually take progress photos. I have so many clients where we'll get a few months in and they'll say, I feel like I've lost a bit of weight, but I don't really weigh myself and I should have taken photos. I'm like, yeah, well, let's start now.
Yeah, good.
Because, we can always start now. There's, you're never going to be completely satisfied with how you look, how you feel, stuff like that. But when people start taking the progress photos, they're so more appreciative once they get to that next mark and they want to see the difference.
So do you think that, it's a tricky question sometimes because it's hard to know what has influenced how you've got to where you are now, but what things do you think have, I guess, helped you grow into the trainer that you are now in the last 2 years? Is it the sessions? Is it the education stuff? Is it external work? Is it reading? What things have been big for you?
Well, I think if I go back to the basics of confidence and just being able to talk to people, having worked in a hospitality role prior to starting here was massive for me. I wouldn't say a shy kid, but I just didn't have the confidence to talk to people and just, make conversation, approach someone if I need help, if I want to order something, if it's food, whatever. But working in hospitality, you really have to, when you're talking with customers, you have to deal with a lot of problems and, help them through it, be polite, a lot of that. So that was my confidence kind of boost, and that kind of made me a bit more confident for the interview because I was like, oh, I've been working in hospitality for 5 years.
I know how to talk to people.
Yeah, I know how to talk to people. Although I was extremely nervous in the interview. I was shaking. I was like, hi.
Really?
Yeah, I was so nervous.
Sarah with me?
Sarah.
Okay. This
You're not intimidating. You're friendly.
Yeah.
You're like, excuse me? But, what else? All the seminars and webinars and stuff that we have been super helpful because we do that, once a month at the moment? Yeah, so just on random topics, having people come in and just talk about different areas of expertise or just their experience and how they've learned and stuff. But just, having that come through once a month, it's not like an overload. It's just a nice amount of, oh, that's cool that I learned this and I can use that in my training now or, for my clients and stuff. But also books, a few books.
Well, because you've read a few. I know I've recommended some, and then you've gone off and just done your own. And YouTube content as well. I remember one of the things early on, you were just trying to consume as much as you possibly could. Yeah,
because I think that was particularly at the start, how I said, I didn't feel like I knew enough as a personal trainer. But, so I wanted to kind of, get all that knowledge. I wanted to, because I wasn't doing any study. I'm not doing a course. I'm not at uni. It's just PT. And so Jeff Nippard, that's his name. I'd go onto YouTube and I'd just go through a few different content creators' videos and I'd take notes on them. Like, I'd just get a book specifically for it. I'd be like, all right, YouTube video 1, topic this is what I learned from this video. I'd write this all down. And yeah, writing it down was just my way of actually letting it sink in. And yeah, I thought that was a great way to learn, but I feel like we're always going to be constantly not being up to date with all information, because also for the fact that everything's always changing in the health and fitness industry. There's no yes or no answers to anything. Someone could say, for example, this is how you do a squat, knees over toes, don't do it. And then they've got like a million different sources and research studies saying why that's backed up. And then there's complete opposite saying like the opposite, and there's a million different backups for that.
There's always that conflicting evidence, right?
Yeah, there's always conflicting evidence for everything. And so you kind of just have to do what works, or personalized to each different client. But
that's such a tricky thing to identify in the field, where it's like, I want to be this type of trainer, I want to be this type of trainer, I want to do this because I know it works with my population. I know it, like, quote unquote works, but it's like, yeah, but it might not work for someone else.
You really have to adapt to each client. Like, some clients, they'll want me to be the strict trainer, they want me to be on their back.
Strict trainer?
Yeah, like they want me to be really like, okay, push me hard. Don't let me, I just cracked my knuckle, sorry. Don't let me cancel. If I cancel, you show up anyways. And then others will be a bit flaky and we'll get to the session. Oh, can we do a chill session today? I'm like, yeah, let's just go for a walk. You just got to adapt. You got to mold.
Pick your like, client-centered training rather than like, I come with this philosophy, this method, this idea.
Yep.
And I'm going to make that square peg.
Put it on you.
Yeah, square peg in the round hole.
Yeah.
Type situation. You actually learn from what's going on within the sessions or in their outside life, and adjust maybe the training volume, or even just change the whole session.
Yeah, right? Literally. Sometimes you just don't go by the plan. You just got to improvise.
Cool. This is called Behind the Drive. So what do you think motivates you to be in this industry? Like, why are you doing what you're doing?
Well, it wasn't until I jumped in it that I realised how I genuinely just love it, because it's such a motivating thing to be doing. I love working on my own health and fitness, and seeing progress is just so like satisfying. It's rewarding. You feel great. And so being able to help others, it's just like such a feel good moment. Like whenever we go to clients, whenever we work, people are 9 out of 10 times, at least in my experience, they're happy to see me. Because I'm doing something for them to help them. And they're always just, whereas if you work in hospitality, people are angry, people want their food, people are complaining, like,
I didn't want pickles in my burger.
Yeah, it's like, calm down, I'm just doing my job. But this is, people are always happy to see you. And for us to actually have an impact on someone's life, because it's so important, our health and fitness, to so many people, that can change everything. And it's just, you feel great. Like, I enjoy working. Like, I enjoy going to sessions. I don't wake up and I'm like, I've got work. Ugh. Whereas, like, some days you want to sleep in, but 9 out of 10 times I'm in like a great mood when I go to work, because I'm like, am I even working?
Yeah, I get to see
hobby.
this person. I haven't seen them in like a week.
Yeah.
I wonder what they're doing. I wonder what's happening. How their progress, how their body's feeling from all the training.
Yeah. And like, you get to see so many different people throughout the day. And it's just bang, bang, bang. Like, I helped them. They were in a great mood. They achieved this. And then, it's just constant positivity. Yeah.
Cool. And then what about this whole, like, obviously we're just starting off the new year. This is the first one for the new year. Jan 31st today. What do you have in store for yourself for this next year? Whether that's with get going and developing here, or even just stuff in your own training. Give me an idea.
Well, I'm actually quitting next week. No, I'm kidding. No, I'm actually going to announce that on the podcast.
You made that joke last year, and I wasn't happy then, and I'm not happy
I thought maybe it would work now.
No.
I genuinely don't have any set in stone plans. I'm just, living my life as it comes. I just take it day by day. I'm probably going to be doing the same thing all year just because I love doing it. I'm happy with where I'm at. I feel like although I'm doing the same amount of sessions maybe constantly, I still feel like I'm progressing. I feel like I'm always progressing and enjoying it more. And as I continue, I'm just always learning. So I'm never sedentary. I'm never in one spot as I work here. I'm always kind of moving on. And so, yeah, I think I'll just I haven't got like a 5-year plan, haven't got 10-year plan. I'm just doing what I'm doing until maybe I get sick of it. I don't know. I can't see that happening, but, you get bored of everything eventually. So, yeah, I think I'm just going to be sticking with this.
Cool. Maybe if you don't have, plans, do you have some key criteria? Like, I don't have plans for my future either. I don't have like a 5-year. I don't do that type of stuff. But do you have like key criteria in the work that you do? Like you need to be able to have influence or have an environment that is you can ask for feedback and you get it, or it's progressive in a sense that if you wanted something changed, you could change it. Like, do you have any like little criteria for yourself that you're like, I will be happy in my job if these things are there?
I think just making sure clients are enjoying themselves. I don't know, there's kind of, everything's just all clients are so different, so there's kind of different things that I want them to be hitting. It might be for one client, like I'd be happy if one client shows up to a session, whereas a different client, I'd say, I'm happy if they hit their 20 kilo, like, weight loss goal, literally for one client. But no, I guess I don't really have anything.
It sounds like you want variability in your day. Like you don't want to be doing the exact same thing every day.
Definitely not. Like I love change. I love embracing new things and constantly being, I guess, a surprise. I do love a surprise if it's a good one.
Surprises are surprises.
Surprise, you're fired. No, that's not a good one. But I do love constant change in my day. So, yeah.
Cool. And last little thing for today, it was your birthday 2 days ago?
It was.
3 days ago? Sunday?
Sunday, yeah.
21.
Yeah.
What'd you do because it's a birthday fiesta, it's not like a one-day thing. What'd you do in the days leading up, Friday, Saturday? Give us an idea.
Yeah, because it was not just a one thing.
No,
so Friday, my boyfriend Kieran, he took me to get Japanese.
Where'd you go?
Yakimono.
Oh, crazy.
Have you been there?
It looks sick. I have not been. It's on my list.
So cool. Yeah, it's really cool. And so we did that. It was a bit pricey, but it was my B-day.
Looks bougie. Looks like
paid.
proper. Oh, yeah.
I was like, oh, do you want to pay half? He's like, no. I'm like, okay, fine.
You're already at the door.
Yeah. Do you want to pay? Bye.
Looks nice too. Like atmosphere is cool.
Yeah, really cool. There's like all this cool lighting, and then when you walk in, you got the stairs and stuff. It's all just like fluorescent kind of lighting, and then there's all the chefs cooking in the middle, and there's a big bench around it. We got like a little bit more of a private spot further back though, where it was a bit more quiet as well, so we could actually hear each other talk. And the food came out like pretty quickly. It was got the set menu or something.
Nice.
Got a few cocktails. That was nice. Yeah. Then Saturday, I worked a bit in the morning, and then I had a bottomless.
Crazy.
At 3:30 with a group of about 20, and then went back to mine. A few more drinks.
Wait, personal trainers drink?
Cordial.
Aha, yes.
Yeah.
Red cordials.
Yeah,
nice.
Of course. But yeah, and then Sunday, Kieran and I, the boyfriend, we just pretty much spent the whole day trying to get as much free stuff as we could with like birthday freebies.
Boost juice and everything.
Yeah, Boost. He had I keep going to say Yumcha. What's that drink with bubbles?
Bubble tea. It just said bubble tea.
Yeah, but there's a different word. Anyways. So yeah, we got that. Churros, of course.
Churros are so good.
Yeah, we got a big fiesta. It's like usually $40 down to 20 though, for like 18 churros and then dips. We had 2 other friends though as well.
That is a lot of churros.
It was a lot. And we're like kind of hungover, not majorly hungover, but a bit in the tummy. So that probably wasn't a great idea. But, and then we did a smash room, Smash and Splash in Oakley.
I saw videos of that looked ridiculous.
Yeah. So we were just like throwing plates and bowls and glasses at like a brick wall. But yeah, that was cool.
Good fiesta.
Yeah, that was fun. And then I think I just had a nap after that. Oh, and then we went back to the pancake parlour because we realised we forgot to have those because they were free.
I can't remember the last time it was a pancake parlour.
So,
but if that's what you like, that's what you like.
it was free, so you can't say no.
Free is good.
Yeah.
Free is good. Well, that's all we have time for today. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
And it was a pleasure. We'll speak to you soon.
Cool. Bye.
See you.